it's me, Michaela, and welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be talking you through my summer TBR. It is a little late to be making this as it is almost the end of July, but I figured better late than never. These are the books I'm planning on getting to for the rest of the summer before the fall hits. There's some that are pretty exciting to me. There are a couple here that are books that I'm reading because I was able to buy some books with the Indigo sale where you bought 3, got the 4th free. So we have some new books, and in general, physical books. It's just I've been reading a lot digitally just because Libby is free, but I do love more reading a physical copy of a book. So I'm really excited that almost all of the books on my summer TBR are physical books that I have here with me. Here's the lovely pile. So let's get started, shall we? The first book that I have is Brisingr by Paolini, and I am actually almost done this book at this point. I started this book last week and I have, I think only about 60 pages left of it, but it is on this list because I made this list over a week ago when I wasn't almost done this book, but here we are. So this is the 3rd book in the inheritance cycle, and obviously I own it. This is one of the books that my parents had sent up to me from my childhood. I've been reading it all of this week. I've been bringing it to work. It's a big book. It's like 750 pages, I think. Unfortunately, this book got some water damage as both it and I got caught in the torrential downpour, thunderstorm, tornado situation that was happening in Montreal last week. But it is still readable. It's sad. The hardcover is beat up, but it is an old book and it's still readable, although it now is quite ugly and sad. But you know, that's what the dust cover is for, and pretending like it didn't happen. That is my plan going forward. That is what I'm doing. So we're just gonna pop this back on here. As soon as I'm done reading, this dust jacket is going back on. It'll be on the shelf and no one will know the wiser but me. I will know in my heart of hearts that that is what happened. So next is the first book that I've recently hauled, and that is The Burning God by R F Kuang. This is the 3rd and final book in the Poppy War trilogy. I'm so excited to read this. I read The Dragon Republic very recently and I gave it 5 stars. I talk about it in my June wrap-up video, which I'll link somewhere for you. So once I saw that Indigo was having that sale, this was the first book that was on there because I was planning on buying it anyway because I was so desperate to get my hands on it and read it, and I own the other 2, so now I have all 3. I love these hardcover covers that they have, like the all white with just like the hints of color in each one. It's just like, I find these books so beautiful, and then I also find them really good, so I'm very excited to read this very soon. But before I read this, I am going to be reading another book, which is actually one that I have digitally. Well, I don't have it digitally. I'm going to be reading it digitally through Libby, and that is The Son of Neptune by Rick Riordan. Oh my god, my mouth is not working. I'm going to be reading The Son of Neptune once I finish Brisingr, and then I'll probably be reading The Burning God. But we'll see, because that's also a lot of fantasy in a row, so I might have to force myself to hold off on reading The Burning God, just because also I don't want to finish the trilogy too soon. Like, maybe I should wait a little bit before I read it. But anyway, I'm gonna read The Son of Neptune. It's the 2nd in the Heroes of Olympus series by Rick Riordan, and I read the 1st book in that series, The Lost Hero, months ago, so I really need to get on reading the 2nd book. I did initially have the issue where the 2nd book wasn't available on Libby for a little bit. I think it must have been like the libraries were in between copies or something. So it is back now and it is on my iPad, so I really do need to read it because it's already been like in my digital possession for a few days, but I haven't started it yet because I'm still finishing up Brisingr. So that is what I'll be reading next because I want to get that read before I have to give it back and then put on hold again and wait again for it. I don't want to be doing that. I want to read the books. So I'm going to read Brisingr, and then I'm going to read Son of Neptune, then I'm going to maybe read The Burning God, but after that it's really undecided. It could be any of these books. But, you know, let's move on. What else did I have on this list? Oh, yes. Okay. So the next book I have on the list is A Curious Beginning by Deanna Raybourn. This is the first in the Veronica Speedwell mystery series. I have read this book before, but what happened is, again, that Indigo book sale, baby. I ordered A Perilous Undertaking, which is the second book in the series. That book has not arrived yet. It is delayed, so it has not been shipped to me yet, and I'm kind of upset about it, but whatever. I have other books to read, so I'm not like that upset about it. I'm mostly upset about it because like I just love getting packages in the mail, and like my package isn't coming yet. Sad. Before I read the second book, I want to reread the first book because I really love this. I gave it 5 stars. I had a great time with this book. And I also read it over a year ago at this point. So I would love the opportunity to have a little refresh on the first book in the series before I started reading the second. Both A Curious Beginning is on the summer list, and tentatively A Perilous Undertaking. If it gets here in, like, I have no idea how long it's gonna take to get here. I don't know exactly how delayed it is, so that might end up being like a fall read instead of a summer read, but fingers crossed it shows up because, you know, we love book mail. Okay, and then the final book that I have on my summer TBR for my summer reading plans is The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I finally bought this book, which means I can finally read it. This is one of the books that I put on my 23 books in 2023 list way back when, in December, and I think I mentioned it then. I don't know. I definitely mentioned in some video about how this is a book I haven't read yet because when I put it on my TBR, I had decided I was going to buy this book. So I refused to let myself read it until I bought it, but then I just kept not buying it. So I finally did buy it, so now I can read it. Very excited about this. I'm thinking I might actually do a video to kind of see where I am at with my 23 books in 2023 list and see how many of those I have actually read and if I'm on track at all with what I had decided for myself, you know, 7 months ago. That could be fun, see if I actually read the books I say I'm gonna read. But this one, okay, it could happen. This one is going to be getting crossed off that list because I'm going to be reading this book this summer. Maybe I'll read this after The Son of Neptune, because that could be a really nice switch up in between some fantasy books. But we'll see. I'm going to pick them up as the mood strikes, and I might even decide that I'm not in the mood for these and I want to read other books instead. But that is the plan. So there we go, some summer TBR books, but like add 2 more to this list that are currently not in my possession and or are digital. Just a quick little reading plans update for the summer. Nothing too big, nothing too grand, but it is exciting, at least to me. So there we go. If you happen to like this video, make sure to give it a like. If you happen to like me, consider subscribing. I'd be happy to have you. And let me know what you're planning on reading for the rest of the summer. I would love to have some more summer book recommendations. I hope you are having a wonderful day today, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.